Hello, humanity. You are created by God and loved by your creator. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's just start for real. First of all, I think it's time for me to level up in making my videos because there needs to be music in that moment where I say, you are created by God and loved by your creator. Let's get right into it. I need music there. Sean Cannell, it's probably time for me to do a training or something with you. And I am 3 weeks into this. This is the third video. And something in me kind of wants to quit. And yet I set up and got behind the camera. So I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know what kind of tenacity it takes, but I'm discovering it as I go through the process. So getting right into it, if you stumbled across this blog or this video on YouTube, my name is Deborah-Naomi Thomas, and I am coming to you via video because I am looking to create a series of content for myself to look back on or to recall or draw from, provided that I would like to someday write, speak, or create content intentionally with what I'm sharing, but I've got to capture it somewhere. And I've got to get used to being behind a camera with lights and everything. The other thing is that if you stumble across this, I want you to be encouraged and inspired that on this journey called life, you're not by yourself. This video that I'm creating and the things that I'm sharing about are because I want to share intentionally with the Black community, specifically with men and with women, sharing about what our strengths are, what makes us vulnerable, our differences, and how we draw from those differences and the characteristics that we are given by our Creator to edify, encourage, and build each other up. So I myself, as a Jesus follower and a kingdom woman, I am committed to making a difference, even when I don't feel like it. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this video is that moment that I don't feel like it. Ooh. So let's talk about what's happened recently. And I want to set my notes down. What's happened recently as of today is I told you previously about my mom and dad's 50th wedding anniversary. And today I finally sent the letter to my dad via email that I wrote to him on January 17th. It was just this opportunity for me to be vulnerable and acknowledge that as a daughter and as a Black woman in relationship, my dad, who is a Black man, that there are ways that I've communicated with him as an adult, a friend, sister in Christ, his daughter, that may have been a disservice to him. There's something in there and I'm discovering it. So I can't give you the detail of it all inside of, the conversation I've had with my dad. However, it's something that's growing. And so I'm looking forward to that unfolding. Here's the other thing that I did. Today, first of all, I wanted tacos for New Year's and I couldn't have those because my whole house was sick with COVID and I was caregiving. So we had tacos tonight, which I'm super happy about. But I heard mom and dad at the dinner table just talking about their why. You know how people look at that and they talk about their why in life. And I overheard my dad talking about it. He's like, I can't get a grip with that. I don't understand what they're saying. I don't get what they mean. And so I went and shared with dad that in my learning and training in communication sciences and disorders, which is my bachelor's degree from Wayne State, I told him, I said, there's a hierarchy inside of asking those questions, and that why is getting really fundamental. And dad was like, but how do you do that? I said, Dad, I invite you to explore your why by writing your obituary. Now, mind you, dad just turned 77. He just celebrated his 50th wedding anniversary. And I just told him to write his obituary on top of this incredibly heartfelt letter that I have no idea what his response is going to be. I hope it's favorable. However, who tells a 77-year-old to write their obituary? So anyway, I'm a little bit off. I feel a little bit weird having done that. However, I believe that it will open something up for continued conversation between my dad and I, and how that goes, I won't know until it actually happens. So, there's the brave moment of what's going on right now. The other thing going on right now is dealing with my health and well-being. While caring for my family while they were sick with COVID, my self-care deteriorated, and I find self-care to be super critical in the world of being a caregiver, just as a person in general. It's critical to me. So today I went to the student clinic at the school I am graduating from for massage therapy, and I went there and had a massage, and it was a beautiful moment because a classmate who ended up having to restructure how she was going about her course and her curriculum, had to drop out of the class that I was in. And she was actually my therapist today. And I was so excited to see her there, because it's great to see when people hit a rough patch and they decide they're not going to quit. They're going to keep going for it. They're going to press in to have whatever it is that they want. And so to me, I was super inspired. Plus, she's a great therapist, even as a student. So it was encouraging to be in that environment and to see familiar faces, people that have watched me through my journey in massage therapy who were still there to support me. So just a shout out to Irene's Myomassology Institute and to all the people I've gotten to know there. You guys are amazing. If you are in the Detroit area, the metropolitan area, anywhere, Irene's Myomassology Institute is a great place to actually get some body work done. So, and it's a decent price point. So I enjoy going to support my classmates, and given that it's the school I will graduate from, I'm always happy to go back and to see how people are progressing and how the school is doing. So anyway, that's something else going on today. And tomorrow morning early, I will go see the chiropractor. God bless the doctor who adjusts me. Lord knows it's been too long and I'm just a little bit achy today. A lot of things happening. Anytime you put yourself up on the mat to deal with yourself around an area of life that matters to you and then show up authentically and vulnerably, life happens fast, and there's just the time to catch up and to recognize what the next step is you need to take and then get in action with it. So probably since last Monday when I posted, that's what's been going on. I think I mentioned that last Monday I did my first voiceover session, and this past Friday, I actually had a one-on-one conversation with my coach to talk about how I need to price myself out, what there is to do next, and how I go about finding work with my skill set. So I was really excited about that conversation. Super thankful for the organization. And then at the massage therapy clinic, the gal who works behind the desk at the student clinic is also being trained as a voice talent, and she goes into the studio this Wednesday. It's just been a really great week of connections being made, relationships being built, and I don't necessarily know where they're going, but being authentic and showing up and being with people right where they're at, to me, is a tremendous gift. And I love that a word in season makes all the difference. So I was able to share and contribute to both of these women in a way that made a difference for them. And they were like, hey, thanks for sharing that. And then I got to receive, one, a really great massage, and then two, feedback that what I shared with them made a difference. So showing up authentically takes something. It's always a little bit risky, and there's always there is the opportunity that it won't go well, but if you don't take the risk, you won't know how great it really can be if you don't take the chance. So that's what's going on right now. And what I'm most thankful for, what I am most thankful for right now is, I think sleep. I think sleep is the thing I am most thankful for right at this moment. So, I'm going to get right into the topic that I want to talk about today. I wasn't sure how to approach it, so let's just keep it awkward as it already is, and then move into a segue of just the awkwardness of it all. It's transition. Yeah, I think transitions are fairly awkward. Moving from one environment to another, I think saying transition is a little bit weird on my part, simply because when most people hear transition, we're talking about someone passing from this life into the life after death, or just passing from this life. And so saying transition gets really hard, but I don't mean transition in the way of, passing from this earth into eternity. I mostly mean moving from one space to another. Change, I guess, is another way of saying it. But so often for me, the experience of going through something occurs for me that it shouldn't be long or take forever or be difficult. It should be like crossing or passing through the threshold of a doorway. Like, most doorways are only anywhere for like 6 inches deep, maybe. I mean, you can cross it without a problem, and you're in the next environment. But then some transitions occur like a really long corridor with all the lights out. Better said, a tunnel, where you step into something and it doesn't end, and it doesn't end, and it doesn't end, and it doesn't end, and it keeps going and it doesn't end. And then you're not at the end. Like, there's no light, there's nothing telling you, there's no indicators, there's no sign. It just keeps going. And at some point, the willingness to the willingness to keep going fades, and the being tired of it all really settles in, and then it's grueling and it's difficult and it's hard. Um, this showed up for me huge at, through the space of like 2020, 2021, even some of the things I deal with right now. I notice, wow, how much longer is this going to go? One of the things I'm working toward right now is writing my personal statement for graduate school, because I'm looking to move to the Dallas Metroplex area, and attend the University of Texas, Dallas, to get my master's and hopefully my PhD in communication sciences and disorders. And I've had this in my heart now since 2017. There's details of that journey. Um, I've had it in my heart that I wanted to go, and I thought for sure when I graduated in 2019, I would go right into graduate school, and then 2020 happened, and then 2021 happened, and here we are in February of 2022. What I thought in 2020 was going to be like moving through a doorway or threshold has really turned into this tunnel like experience where I am dismantling, losing, taking apart, dropping off, letting go, disappearing, like all the stuff that I thought I would need to take with me, all of the things that I thought were going to make a difference for me inside of my transition to Texas, all the mental, emotional, and even physical weight, and some of the cumbersome nature of being clothed in it was something that I needed to take with me. But God kind of had other plans. I mean, clearly, I'm still in Detroit. But for me, I guess it's the whole experience of, again, like I said before, the patience of God and then partnering with God. Somewhere in this tunnel experience, from the beginning, I thought I was in charge, right? And then he gets me on, I'm on this journey with him, and he's inviting me to let go. And now I'm in the part of the journey with him where it's like, yeah, whatever you say, I'm game. What it started out for me is in pursuing grad school is that I wanted my church community to come before my academic pursuit. And so I told God on the beginning of my journey for grad schools that, you know what, I'll find wherever you want me to go to church, and whatever you want me to go to church, I'll go to church there, and then I'll find a school in the area. And that worked out. The only problem was is Abba came back to me and said, "You know what? I'm still not a priority in your life. I'm still not first. See, you've decided to use me as a lucky charm for figuring out where you're going to go to school, not because you're just going for me." So then on this tunnel-like journey, he takes away what I think is the priority, and all the things that he's given me and put in my heart, he asks for it back. I begrudgingly give it to him, because the thing with being a living sacrifice is that you keep wanting to jump off the altar and take all the things you want that you're supposed to be offering up to him with you. So I'm like, oh yes, God, I love you. Give me back my stuff. That's not really how it works. He's like, give it all to me. And I did. And it was really scary because I'm empty handed. I don't know where I'm going. I'm in this long, crazy journey, and he's busy reordering my life. And then he gives back to me all the same things that I had before, which is incredibly generous. He's so good like that. But he changed the order. And in the process of that, while he was dealing with all the stuff I didn't want to give up, he actually began to work in my posture toward him, to go from, as I said, triple threat, stubborn, willful, and disobedient, to being a yes, committed and engaged with him in the relationship, not for the stuff of the relationship, but for him. So he gives me all the stuff back, which is great. But that season that he had it all and I just had him were some of the best moments. So I'm happy to be in this journey now, that even though I still don't have a clear path as to where it's going, I can trust him in the journey. And so I guess for me, the takeaway is that while I'm still figuring it out, and I've made my third bad video, Sean Cannell, I need training, I'll have to look something up on YouTube. I get to show up as myself. It's freaking me out that I've uploaded these to YouTube and that I'm posting them. But what I get out of it is I get to start shifting my posture and my relationship to myself, but even more so my relationship to my Heavenly Father. And the fact that I get to show up being 100% myself, and He's going to handle all the details, and everything He's called me to do, I'll actually fulfill on, but I won't be fulfilling on them from the my glory and my achievement perspective, but from the generosity of my Father's hand toward me to see me fulfilled in my life, doing what I love, fulfilling on the things that I'm committed to, and loving every moment of it. Loving every moment of it. So that's what I have to share with you tonight. I'll share a little bit more about transition and journey, the doorway threshold to the tunnel, because I want to come back and talk to you about Jonah in the process, because Jonah, I took a lot of value from in the last couple of years. And I think it'll be a fun conversation to have. So I'll see you back here in about a week, and have a great day. Bye.